I don't even know how to start an intro. What's up guys, my name is Natalie and welcome back to my channel, and let's talk about all the books I got for Christmas. So the first genre I'm going to be going through is romance. I mostly got romance and then like fantasy or sci-fi. The first book that I got was Every Summer After, which I read this book this summer in August and I really liked it and I really wanted a special edition of it, and I just think this edition is so cool. The end papers are just so pretty. And then I really like how the hardback looks too, with the complementary colors. But this is a very pretty edition and I'm happy that I got it. What I also got along with Every Summer After is One Golden Summer, which this book takes place in like the same setting that Every Summer After does. It follows the brother of the love interest in Every Summer After. And I know that this book was really popular this year, and I hope to get to it this summer, and I hope that I like it because Every Summer After was really good, and it'd be really cool if a special edition of this book came out as well. And then I have Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I've never read Julie Soto, but I know that she has a couple romances out, and I wanted to read Not Another Love Song by her, but then I decided I want to like start from the beginning with her books, and so I asked for Forget Me Not. And I just think this cover is so pretty. Like, look at that. Purple in the background. It's actually so pretty. And this book, it's about like a second chance between a wedding planner and a brooding florist, it says. So yeah, I don't know when I'll get to this, but I'm really glad to have it though. Romance. Okay, so the last romance book that I only got 4 romance books, and this one is actually a classic, which I saw the trailer for it the other day when I went to go see The Housemaid, which I actually read The Housemaid, and so then when I went to go watch it I was like, oh my gosh. But the movie is pretty good. So is the book though. But I saw a trailer for this book, and that is Wuthering Heights. I actually got this book from a Secret Santa in college. I got it from one of my friends, and yeah, I think this is really pretty. I don't think I actually own any classics except for maybe this one now. And I also own The Perks of Being a Wallflower, but I don't know if that's considered a classic. This might be my first classic. It definitely looks like a classic. Now it's time for the fantasy and sci-fi books, which the first book, I actually didn't ask for this book, but it was more of like a surprise book. I have seen it before and I've considered buying it before, but my dad actually got me this one. It's The Lost Bookshop. What I know about this book is that there's a mysterious bookshop and it appears with these 3 people, and it's in Dublin. I think this one is more set in like a realistic place, so maybe it's more of like magical realism. The next book that I got, I actually really love this cover. I've never read this author before, even though I do own one of her books on Kindle, which I haven't read yet, but I got Babel. I just think this book is absolutely like so pretty. Like, I really love how it's like black and white, and like you can see that this is like the center point of the cover. I think it's really pretty. And this one follows the main character, Robin Swift, and he is orphaned, and I think he is from China and he goes to Britain. He basically works like in this at Babel, which is like the center of translation and magic, which I think is really cool. I heard that R.F. Kuang's writing is very knowledgeable, like very like you're like learning kind of. I don't know. That's what I've heard. And reading this in college though, I think would be kind of peak, not gonna lie, because it's like prestigious, studious. I'm excited to get to it. So the next book I got, this actually came with a box set series, so I'll show the other books in just a second, but I've heard a lot about this series and I actually really love the covers. That is an Ember in the Ashes series, which I think this is just like so cool. Like, look at that. But I've definitely been interested in reading this series because it's just so like intriguing. Like I hear a lot of people just really enjoy, and I want to know what that's about. Along with this one, I actually got the 3 other ones: A Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, A Sky Beyond the Storm. The spines actually match up too. I think spines that match up are so cool. Like, look at that. That's so cool. Which, that's kind of hard, but yeah, look at that. That's crazy. I love spines that match up, but I always see them in stores and I'm like, wow, that's a design choice right there. That is really cool. So the next book that I got, I've heard so many things about this book and like everybody loves this duology, but I only got the first book for Christmas, and that is Six of Crows, and I got the newer edition of it. I forget what this edition is called, but I just think this version looks so cool, and like I don't know the characters' names yet because I want it to be a secret. I know, is one of them named like Kaz? I know that there's about like 6 thieves that come together and like they do a heist. It also has black stained edges, which this cover is actually so pretty. The second one of this version is in red, and then I think it's a yellow title. It seems like everybody I know who picks up this book is like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever read. I mean, I have to get on that train at some point, right? The next book I got, this book is really short, so I'm planning on bringing this to college with me because it's under 200 pages, and this is How We Lose the Time War. And this book really intrigues me because I also hear a lot of good things. I hear a lot of good things about all of these books. I could probably read that in college, right? It's short, right? I can read that, right? On the back of it, how it talks about the main characters, it talks about them in red and blue, and basically it's like letters to each other. Yeah, and there's time travel. Obviously, this is how you lose the time war. I'm excited about this one too. Okay, the next book I got is Jade City, and this is also a newer cover of this fantasy book, and I think this version is so cool. There's like this thing called Jade, and it has powers and it gives people powers. I know that there's rivaling families, and all the trilogy looks like that. The new ones. Guys, I love fantasy. I love fantasy. There's like a war going on. There's this one booktuber I watch. She talks about this book a lot. The next book, I haven't heard too much about this book. I've only seen like one person really talk about it. But this is a start of a series. This is the Bone season, and I just think, I just love really good covers. And this one, like, look at that. Look at that. It's definitely very artistic, and also there's a similar theme with the books that I got for Christmas, and like a lot of them kind of has this main character that goes against the system. Like Babel is like that. Ember in the Ashes is like that too. I know fantasy sometimes have like similar plot lines, but different ways of getting there. For those of you who don't know, I will read the back. Welcome to Scoin, no safer place. The year is 2059. For 2 centuries, the Republic of Scoin has led an oppressive campaign against unnaturalness in Europe. In London, Paige Mahoney holds a high rank in the criminal underworld, the right hand of the ruthless Whitebinder. Paige is a dreamwalker, a rare and formidable kind of clairvoyant. Under Scoin law, she commits treason simply by breathing. When Paige is arrested for murder, she meets the mysterious founders of Scoin, who have designs on her uncommon abilities. If she is to survive and escape, Paige must use every skill at her disposal and put her trust in someone who ought to be her enemy. That's what this one is about. And I've never read anything from this author either, but I know she's also the author of Pyre of the Orange Tree. Is that how you call it? One of the blurbs up here, it says intelligent, inventive, dark, and engrossing. This book seems really cool. We are down to the final book that I got for Christmas, and this book, I really want to read this book. Like, this is the book that I want to read next, The Will of the Many. This book, I really want to read this book because the little description of what it is just sounds so interesting, and it's told in the first person, and it says, okay, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of this right, but Kate Nan Republic. The hierarchy may rule the world now, but they do not know everything. I tell them my name is Vis Telemus. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I tell them I was orphaned after a tragic accident 3 years ago, and that good fortune alone has led to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. I tell them that once I graduate, I will gladly join the rest of civilized society in allowing my strength, my drive, and my focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power of those above me, as millions already do, as all must eventually do. I tell them that I belong, and they believe me. But the truth is that I have been sent to the academy to find answers, to solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, to uncover secrets that may tear the Republic apart. And I will never ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. To survive, though, I will still have to rise through the academy's ranks. I will have to smile and make friends and pretend to be one of them and win. Because if I cannot, then those who want to control me, who know my real name, will no longer have any use for me. And if the hierarchy finds out who I truly am, they will kill me. You can't tell me that you're not interested in this book after hearing that description. This book seems so good. Like, I really want to read this next. Even though I'm also reading Harry Potter right now, but also this cover, this reminds me of Dune, and I did really like Dune. I read the first book in Dune, and it was very interesting. And then we watched the movies, and the movies were really good. Ooh. So those were all the books that I got for Christmas. Let me know what you guys got for Christmas, if you got any books, or if you only got Barnes & Noble gift cards because your family doesn't know what books you want to read. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!